Hi, I'm Richard Smith, and today we're going to cover R&B rhythm guitar techniques. We're going to hit everything that has to do with single note playing. We're going to get some harmony in there. We're going to get a lot of right hand technique because R&B guitar playing is just about all about the right hand. So I've got a lot of drilling and some really great songs to play along to, so I hope you enjoy yourself, and let's get started. All right, let's get started with the world of R&B guitar. Great place to start is the guitar itself. And this is a fantastic Stratocaster. And it really changed my life. This guitar I bought when I was just out of college. And I'd played 335s and Les Pauls and so forth up until this point. And I'd bought one of these because this was the big LA guitar sound back in the 80s. And I'd have to say that an essential tool for a good R&B rhythm guitar player is got to be a Stratocaster. You've got to have the single coil pickups and just the sound of a Strat. It's a thinner sound. You can play more percussive on it. It's more responsive to whacking it with your right hand, which is really the other part of R&B guitar playing, is really hitting the guitar hard. As you can see, this guitar has had a lot of abuse over the years. And the old adage of Pete Townsend actually having blood on his guitar is actually true. There have been many times when I've come off gigs because I've hit the guitar so hard that I've drawn blood. And I don't recommend that you do this, of course. But you really, as we're going to find out today, really have to have an aggressive right hand. Basically, all we're going to be talking about today are 16th notes. Okay, 16th notes, 1E and 1 E and We've got 1 and are down, 1 and E and are up, 1 E and All right, so when we play our first beat, it's 1 E and 1 E and The strong beat is going to be on the first note, and then I'm going to scratch the last three. It's a very essential move to any kind of R&B playing. I'm going to be repeating it a lot because there's only one way to really get a solid rhythm, and that's to repeat these patterns a lot. So it's going to be a lot of drill today. And of course, I'll apply it to the performance pieces as well. Okay, let's get started with the downbeat, accenting downbeats. Now that's the 1 and the 1 E and I've got an E7 chord. As a matter of fact, let's get that straight right now. It's a first inversion of an E dominant 7 chord. And we've got here at the 6th fret, we have a G sharp. We have a D on the 7th fret. We have an E on the 5th fret. And we have a B at the 7th fret. Okay, so that's our first chord. I'll do it every other bar. Now, in order to get a nice, strong downbeat, I literally wind up and I whack it like that. And the thing that it reminds me of is when I used to be sick and Mom used to have a thermometer and she'd make that mercury go down to the end of the thermometer. You probably have an electric one these days, but in my day, we had a thermometer, and that's exactly the move. She would wind up like that and pop. And that is a powerful move on the guitar. You can really play a strong downbeat with that, okay? The other move is sort of like keying the door, and that's a little bit more subtle, and we'll talk about that later. But for now, it's the thermometer move, okay? One more time. Let's go a little faster. Just keep doing it. Okay, now I'm going to double up, and I'm going to play it every bar. Oops. There we go. Should sound like a train after a while, just really steady. Let's go faster. Just join in. Okay, now you'll also notice that I never make a move without moving some part of my body. My shoulders sometimes, or my leg, or my foot. And it's always amazing to me when I see musicians who are playing, but nothing's moving. To me, it's like an engine. It's like my body has to engage my guitar and my arms. It's like a train wheel playing. So that's an important thing to think about as well. Always tap your foot. Always play with a metronome. Always play with a drum machine. Because the one thing we have in common with the rest of the band is time. Okay, we might be playing different chords than the singer's singing, or we might be playing different notes than the bass player's playing, but one thing we all have in common is time. Okay, so that's another good thing about this video is it's going to really lock in our time concept. Okay, so that was a lot of downbeats. 1 E and a, 1 E and a. Now you'll notice that I'm going 1 E and a, 1 E and a. And is also a downbeat. Okay? 1 So if I play it, actually I can play 1 E and a, 1 E and a, 1 E and a, 1 E and a. So that's playing on the and, 1 E and a. Let's play that a little, let's do that together. A little faster. A little faster. Okay? So again, that's when that thermometer really kicks in. You hit it really hard. And the faster you go, if you want more finesse, we start doing the keying move, which is more like this. It's less arm as opposed to. Okay, so that's our strong beats. Now, just as important are upbeats, offbeats, E and 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and Okay, 1 E and 1 E. Starts sounding like the Police a little bit. It's kind of a reggae ska feel when you get kicked in. So here's the thing: most guitar players concentrate because of the rock and roll stuff on really the hard downbeats. And the thing that makes R&B so subtle is it's really got a developed upbeat. Okay, so let's work on our upbeats just a little bit. I'm going to play a 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and. Just join in when you can. 1 E. You're doing great. Okay, now we're going to add the other one, and we're going to drop 1 E. We're going to drop the E and bring in the 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and Okay, now let's put both of them together. It's a little harder. It's more ska. Okay? So the other thing I think you'll notice is I'm muffling everything. And when I hit the guitar so hard, I've really got to pull my thumb over and muffle. Sometimes I hit it so hard that everything kind of falls off the strings and so forth. Again, what I noticed playing with the best guys in the business is that they just hit things really hard. Okay, so the idea is to really wind up and pop it hard, and you're going to really notice a difference. You're going to notice the pickups reacting differently to the strings when you hit them hard, and you're going to notice that you're really going to be pushing a lot more sound through that speaker. Okay, so highly recommend really developing the right hand. And again, I've got about 15 years on you, so if it feels funny, if it's hurts after a little while, or if you're not hitting the string just right, and it hurts a little bit, well, that's part of getting better. It's just really suffering through it. Okay? And you're doing it right if you're doing that. Now, let's take a look. We're going to keep drilling here before we kick in the music. Let's take a look at probably the best way I've ever found to balance out our upstrokes and our downstrokes. Okay? And that's by playing unevenly. Now, for instance, we were just doing 1 E and 1 E and this is the backbone of Western music, right? This nice squared off 1 E and 1 E and. Now we're going to stay in 4/4, but instead of playing 1 E and A, 1 E and A. We're going to go one, we're going to do threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Same 16th notes, we're just putting the accent on different times. So it's not a new time signature, it's just a different accent. And what that does is when we shake it up, instead of squaring it off and always having these hard downbeats or these hard upbeats, this makes your wrist go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. It equally divides it between the two. Same way a drummer would be going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it's exactly the same idea. Drummers worry about time all the time. That's what they do, is they work on their time. And that balance is really important. Well, we rhythm guitar players do 98% of the work in the business. The lead guitar players only are about 2%. We're about 98%. So it's a very important field to get right. And this is the way we get it right. Okay, so let's play some threes. So we're taking the same idea, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Let's go slower. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. But we're going to play threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to keep doing it until you get comfortable with it, because we're going to really shake things up in a second. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now notice I'm alternating. I'm keeping that move going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm not going 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's all alternate, okay? So let's play threes. But let's also add an even beat to it, and this is where we really get tricky. We're gonna play a 5. We're gonna go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Again, these are just 16th notes. But again, learning R&B from the really great players in LA, I found this to be one of the best ways to play just really great steady rhythm. So I'm gonna play a 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then, of course, it changes to the upstrokes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now, of course, if you haven't noticed already, when I play those accents, I'm muffling with these with my left-hand fingers. Notice my left hand. Okay, let's go a little faster. Okay, a little faster. Okay, so you're doing great, by the way. Let's try threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, followed by fives. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. So, mixing those patterns up and being able to play accents with that is freeing our whole body up to feel the rhythm better. Playing in odd syncopations really makes us better players as far as our steady syncopations. Believe me, after a day of doing this, you won't believe how much better your rhythm is. Okay, so here's the trick. We're going to do 4 5s. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 3s. Okay? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, let's go a little faster. Okay? Now, I guarantee you, if you play that for 25 minutes nonstop, you're going to have a 50% better right hand than you did 20 minutes earlier. Okay? Now, mathematically, I'm going to keep throwing these odd divisions at you because I know from practicing these, I went from being an awful time-feeling guy. I had no sense of time. I don't know where I got that from, but I just could not feel time until I started really tearing apart rhythm playing the way drummers do. And here's what they do. Okay, we just played four fives and 4 3s. Now let's try adding a 7, okay? So a 7 is 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. A little bit complicated, but it's good for you. 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2. Now the drummer who taught this to me, we were on the road in Japan, and we would call numbers off to each other. 4 5s, 4 7s, 4 3s, 4 2s, and play those back and forth between the drummer and the guitar. So that's what we should be doing. I'm going to call some numbers and we'll play them. So let's do 4 7s and 4 3s. And we'll just repeat that pattern, 4 7s, 4 3s, 4 7s, 4 3s, okay? Same chord. Here we go. 4 7s, 4 3s. 1 2 3 4. Okay, let's do 4 7s and 4 5s. Here we go. 1 2 3 4. So we would do that for hours. And that's the way you get to have the best right hand in the business, okay? Not saying that I do, but it's a great way to get the right hand moving. All right, so just practicing those, making those a part of your practice routine, say 15 minutes a day, playing numbers, along with the drum machine. Now notice I was counting all of these little subdivisions off in 4/4, because I am in 4/4. All I'm doing is playing different syncopations. And this is nothing more than what a drummer does when he's playing a funk groove. He's playing different syncopations that are based on divisions of 3s and 2s. Okay? So that's a very important sort of bit of math to remember as far as the R&B playing. I'll tell you what, let's apply some of this to playing to a track, okay? This is going to be the track that we play to a lot today. It's a fast R&B funk tune, and it's a great tune to practice all of your R&B stuff to. All right, so let's go to the audio on this. Okay, so in that example, I was playing a lot of different things, a lot more than you would normally play in a situation like that. But I wanted to play a lot of what we're going to be doing now, which is syncopation and repeating the syncopation. So let's start with a combination of a downbeat and then an E and A. So I'm going to play one downbeat, and then I'm going to scratch for 3 bars, and then I'm going to do one E and A. Okay? I'm going to do it for a while, so go ahead and jump on and play along with me. Here we go. 1. Okay, now let's go up to the tempo of the tune. 3, 4. Okay, so you should be noticing from if you do your threes a lot, how much more control you have over your upstrokes. Okay, it should be just a big jab. When I do that, I'm hitting the guitar absolutely as hard as I can. I've constricted the movement to a very small spot, and I can just pop it really hard. So that should be able to kick out just like a good hi-hat or a good snare fill. Okay? Let's keep going with this idea, and I'm going to do the same idea, hit a downbeat, go for 2 more bars, and then I'm going to change the pattern up a little bit. On the last bar, I'm going to go 1 E and ah. Okay, so the whole thing sounds like this. Okay, that's the move. Here we go. Oops. There it is. Okay, so let's keep going with those 4-bar phrase ideas. Here's another one. This one goes 1 E and a, E. 1 E and a, 8, 3, 4. Okay, another one. This is a little bit easier. 1 E and a, 1 E and a, 1 E and a, 1 E and a. Here we go. 3, 4. Let's keep going along that idea. I'm going to go 1 E and a, E, 3, 4. Okay? I'm going to extend that a little bit longer. Da 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 Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's keep moving that. I like that idea. It's a good practice for the upstroke. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, let's try another one. 1 E and a, 1 E and a 1. 1 E and a 1 Okay? All right, let's try some of that with the audio now. All right, so obviously we're just playing one static chord over the rhythm section. That's not a very exciting thing to do, but really I wanted you to understand how the right hand worked as much as anything else when you're locking with a track. Now I'll show you something to do with the left hand as far as a riff goes. And really R&B playing is so much about stacking riffs together in the middle of a track. So I've got a couple of ideas here that are classic R&B riff ideas, and we'll put them over the track we've been playing to. Okay, number one, let's play an E minor 7 right here. Typical chord for Earth, Wind & Fire and Tower of Power and great R&B acts. Great scratch chord. I like to slide up to just about every downbeat. Not every downbeat, but it's one of the moves we can do. So if you don't know this chord, this is the index at the 7th fret, and D on the 7th fret, G on the 8th fret, B on the 7th fret. Okay? And the pattern that I'm using goes like this. Every time it comes around, we come back to that first chord like that and punch it really hard. Okay, so what we're going to do is phrase this by 2 4-bar phrases. So it's an 8-bar phrase total, and the first phrase is going to go like this. Now let's break that down a little bit. If we've got our E minor 7, slide up to the E minor 7, one E and up, and then we've got a riff where we revoice this chord. So actually, I'm just playing these 3 notes, which is D on the 7th fret, G on the 8th fret, D on the 12th fret. Okay? And I snap it really hard. Let's just play that and get used to it. So it feels really good. Let's get it up to the tempo. Okay, that's our first half of the lick. Second half is going to go like this. We're going to play the same thing. Okay? And that's a dyad that I like to use, a dyad being 2 notes. And I use the 7, which is D at the 7th fret, and the 1, which is E at the 5th fret. And everything else is muffled. It's hard to muffle all of these things all the time. That's half the work right there, is to get your thumb around there and use the fat off the fingers to muffle the notes in between and so forth. So it's kind of tricky to keep all those balls in the air, so to speak. But that's the way we play an R&B pattern, okay? So let's play that whole pattern. A little faster. All right, let's see what that sounds like with the track now. All right, even that becomes a little bit repetitious after a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the little riffs up with other little punctuations, okay? And for instance, that's a lot of chords. We've got playing a lot of chords. So let's try playing something that I call stab. Okay? Now we take an E minor pentatonic. Any of those notes are susceptible to a stab. I slide up from the lower note, slide up from the lower note on each one of these. Okay? And it's just a downstroke and a chica. Down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up. Okay, so watch how I'll play along with the track again, and I'll use our original riff, but also punctuate it with these stabs. Now, for instance, this is a 4-note pattern, a 4-bar pattern. Now, see how I changed that up there on the 4th time through? That really makes a difference, and I'll show you what I mean by playing with the track. Okay, so there's a 4-bar riff that's punctuated at the end with a couple of stabs. Now, the second time through, I played another riff that was a little bit of razzle-dazzle, and that's a triplet. 1 and but I play it in a triplet. I take an old blues lick like that. I can play another one up here. And can use that at the end of a phrase as well. So for instance, and I can do that all over the place. I could actually combine that with stabs. Things like that. And that was originated by a great hero of mine, Lee Ritenour, who really brought R&B and jazz together back in the 70s and 80s. All right, let's go with another lick like that. Let's play single notes, okay? Let's add a single note to this, and this is same idea as the stab, but it's more controlled, okay? And so, as a matter of fact, one of the ways that we can play R&B guitar in a kind of a musical way is to play around what's going on in the music. For instance, in the song that we have a keyboard playing a melody on quarter notes. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I'm going to stay out of the way of the melody that the keyboard's playing, and what I'm going to be playing underneath it, but I'm going to be playing less than chords. For instance, I'm going to be just playing single notes. Now that sonically doesn't take up as much room as, say, a chord does. Then when I come in with the chord, I'm going to play a riff. So while the melody's playing, I'm playing a single note line. And then if there's a hole anywhere, I'm going to play my riff. And that's pretty much the same riff as before. I've just added a few notes. Using the B underneath. A little like counter melody to what's going on in the music. So again, if somebody's playing or if somebody's singing, I don't want to get in their way. I'm still driving with a nice R&B feel with the wicky-wackies and the scratches and whatever you want to call them. And then when there's a hole, I put something in there. So usually chords. So let's listen as I do that, and we'll talk about this single note scratching when I come back. Okay, so we've got a lot of balls in the air, but essentially we have a couple of different elements that we pull together musically around what's going on in the music. Again, using these single note, and let me talk to you about the single notes for a second. In the key of E minor, which is where we're definitely at right now, I like to use the root and the 7, okay? I use those as kind of the basis. So if the beat's going along like this, chicka, 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 I can come up with a little 16th note pattern. Anywhere in between those two works well. Of course, the important thing, as always, is to have my motor going. And that's why we did all of those exercises before, is to strengthen the balance between the up and down strokes. If you have a great balance between up and down strokes, you can't play anything wrong, because whatever you play, you're playing with authority. We have a little saying called strong and wrong, and that's pretty much true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a part that's going to be the single note parts, but I'm also going to punctuate it with stabs. Okay, so check this out. See if you can't hear the phrases that I come up with. 3, 4. All right, so this is what we mean by playing scratching single note parts. And again, it's a great way to sort of provide a foundation while you're playing and waiting for a bigger part to play. Bigger riffs that take up more musical real estate. Now, another way of playing these single notes is to play what I call bubble picking, or what other people call percolator picking. And that's a lot of the same concept, except we're using more of a muffled approach. It's a much more subtle approach. Works great for more, well, this last tune was a real in-your-face sort of funky fusion tune. Now I'll play it on more of a funky, low-down sort of a song, a little bit less intense. And as a matter of fact, we'll play it in C major. We're going to a major key now. And in major, I like to play, we were using a root and a 7 before in the minor. Okay, now what I'd like to do is play in a major key, in the key of C. I'm going to use the root. As a matter of fact, a good way to practice it is just using one note. Same idea, find a nice rhythm that works, okay? Let's play that to the track. Now, just playing one note, bubble picking, is a lot of fun, but it gets a little old after a while. So let's use 3 notes. So I'm using C at the 5th fret, A at the 7th fret, G at the 5th fret. And I just go between those. And I can do the same sort of punctuation with a stab. I'm just going up to an A here in the B string. Okay, so let's go to the audio again, and I'll play a little bit of that for you. All right, let's take that same idea of bubble picking, percolator picking, and then add a little chonk to it, okay? Chonking on the string. And this is in major using the same ideas. Okay, so that was a couple of single note ideas to play over a C7 vamp, and the single note with the muffled, single note with the chonk, and so forth. Now what I'd like to do is show you some chords that were used by the greats like James Brown, Earth, Wind and Fire, Tower of Power, a lot of great funksters using these chords. And basically it's just a way of playing the C7 up on the top string set in several different places. We call them inversions. Same chord, just voiced differently. And I'll show you how to go between those inversions to come up with some really great funky lines. Okay, number one is a C7. We'll use the same audio track, C7. And where I voiced the first C7 is a real typical James Brown chord voicing. We were doing with the E7 a little earlier. In this case, we're down here in the first position, and we're playing E at the 2nd fret, and we're playing B flat at the 3rd fret, C at the 1st, G at the 5th. All right? That's our first voicing. We can cop a groove on that. Actually, we've got a lot of string to work with here, too. It's going to sound good. Okay? Now, the next note up that I can play would be a C9. Another James Brown. And I don't play the root, actually. I like to play this upper note. Instead of playing the root, you can also play it like this, play the root. But really what I like to do is not play the root because the bass player is going to be playing it. If I'm doubling the root with the bass player, it's just a little heavier than I want it to be. So what I'll do is I'll forget about the root, and it gives me a little bit more room to move, a little bit more flexibility. Okay, so I'm just playing the E, the B flat, the D, and the G. And then I've also got the 6th that I can go up and up, off and on. See how much transparent that sounds? Okay, so we've got 2 chords now for substitutions for C7. They're just other voicings for C7. Right here, we've got this one, C9, and we've got this one, which is actually C13 with that A on top. Now I can work my way up the neck. I go up here to the B flat, and that's actually what we call a 3rd inversion of a C7 chord because the B flat is a 7, it's up on top. Just think of it as that whenever you have a B flat in the voicing, it's a 3rd inversion on top. So we've got this one. And that, of course, is a G at the 5th fret, C, E, and then the B flat at the 6th fret. Okay, I'm working my way up the neck. I'm going to play a C13. I like this voicing a lot because I can move it around a lot. And this one is a B flat at the 7th fret, 8th fret, E at the 9th fret, A at the 10th fret, C at the 7th fret, 8th fret. Now I can put the 9 on top. Okay, now I hope you're playing along with me when I start striking that groove up there because it's the best way to learn, it's just playing along. Now I'm going to hold that voicing and I'm going to go up to it and put that 3rd on top. Okay, so we're really covering the neck pretty well here, but I'm going to keep going because we can play these voicings all over the neck, right? So that puts us back up to this next voicing right here, C7, 1st inversion. And what we've got here is the root, we've got, let's just go do it by intervals. The root, the 5th, the 7, and the 3. And again, this is another voicing we can move around. If we take the lower note out, we can really move it around, okay? So, there's another voicing. Now, at this point, we've just come back an octave higher from that first chord that we learned. So, I've got all of these chords at my disposal now. Now, I just put in an E flat, which is a minor third, which is the blues note. That's awesome to put in. It's just a little bit of a stinger. So for instance, if I'm playing like this, you can have a lot of fun just moving those inversions all over the neck. So let's go to the audio and I'll show you what I do with them. Okay, we just covered an awful lot of things, but that's why you have a DVD. You can go back and slow down the tape and speed it up and do whatever you want with it. But one thing to keep in mind is it's all about the right hand. So those right hand exercises, they might seem a little bit redundant and so forth, but it's really important to practice the right hand things. Now remember too, like that last song we just did, you can bubble pick on just the root or on the seventh in the root and get an awful lot of work done that way. And also by chonking on the note a little bit, you can add another little bit of attitude to it. A lot of dimensions to add to a track. A lot of things going on at a track before the guitar even gets to it. A lot of times in rhythm and blues sessions, I'm the last thing to go on the track. So I've got to stay out of the way of the bass player, I've got to stay out of the way of the drummer, I've got to stay out of the way of the singer, and at the same time I have to play with everybody. So a lot of times it's just a matter of being able to find a part that fits within all of that. And this next tune, I'm going to use a variety of techniques, but I'm going to really try and be transparent in the track and still play the guitar a lot. Okay, so we're going to use bubble picking. As well, I'm going to show you another concept and then throw in some what I call funnies. Now, the reason why I call them funnies is I was asked many times just to do certain things on the guitar that there's no word for in the Oxford Dictionary of Music. So, for instance, when there's a hole in the track or there's a place where you can really throw a piece of a character part too, I might do one of these. If I can remember what key we're in. Okay, just a double bend like that and a fall off. I call that a funny. And then I can break into my track. Okay, so listen for that when we play on this next piece of music. The other thing is, a lot of times, as I said before, I will just noodle, I will just play a bubble picking part until I hear a hole in the music, and then I'll throw in more of a chordal part. Or I'll also throw in something called a dyad. And a dyad is just a two-note chord, but it's used like a chord. So for instance, let's go to the key of E flat minor. Okay, now that's a big Earth, Wind, and Fire key. There's a certain quality to that key that I like a lot. Now what I'm going to do is I've got my center point here that I'm just listening to the tune. This is on the seventh of E flat minor, which is D flat. So as we play along, you're going to hear me just floating around on that note. And then when I hear a hole, when I hear where I can play a part, I'll play this. This is E off of an E flat minor 9. We've got F at the 6th fret, and then we've got D flat at the 6th fret right here. And playing that third, a dyad, moving down to that third dyad, and that's a E flat at the 4th fret over here. and a C at the 5th fret. I get a lot of mileage out of those 3 elements. Bubble picking on the 7. Of course, that little riff that we learned earlier. And then waiting for the little hole, and then I've got a... Now, the great thing about dyads is they're pretty flexible to move around. So notice as I play on this track, I'm going to be playing, I can play a pretty heavy riff. Okay, I can hold it long, I can hold it short. I don't know what I'm going to do because that's part of the fun of playing R&B guitars. You can just work your part out as you go along. I can also go the other direction. So I've got my bubble picking. A funny up on top. But I can go the other direction as well. So I've got all of these thirds working for me in these middle strings. Now going up, I'm going up to the 7th fret. I'm playing the G flat right there. And I'm playing the E flat right here on the 3rd string. And just take that up a whole step. All right, and if I really wanted to, I could go all the way up to the E flat voicing, E flat minor voicing, and play B flat, G flat, and then come back down the same way I came. So that's my playground, okay? Okay, so let's go to the audio, and I'll try and make that work for you. Okay, so we've just covered a lot of muffle parts in the key of E flat, muffling and 2-part dyads. And basically what I'd like to do is take everything up a whole step and put more of a backbeat to it and pretty much do the same thing again, but show you how I could do it in another context. In this case, it's a little bit more of a rocking tune. But it'll be the same format of finding the one note that I can work off of, waiting for a good place to put in the thirds. In this case, it's the thirds that are based off of G on the 8th fret, E flat on the 8th fret. Okay, so let's go to the audio tape. Okay, we're going to kick it up a notch now. I'm going to do a much faster tempo. We're going to go to the key of A major. I'm going to do 2 different versions. The first one I'll do is a more aggressive, chonky one, okay? And I'll use a couple of the techniques. Some will be using the spikes, and some will be using sort of semi-bubble, but more with an aggressive approach. We'll do that for a little while. And then I'll come back, and I'll take the bubble approach, okay? So hang tight, and see you in a second. And now the bubble. Okay, so I just played you a whole lot of ideas that we've kind of brought together from the beginning. Double stops or dyads, single note picking, bubble picking, learning where to play in between the track, around what's going on, so forth. Introduced a new element called, that I call funnies. They're just sort of textural elements that you can throw in with the guitar. I call them guitarisms as well. So let's talk about guitarisms for a second. And I'm talking about after you've done, let's say you're doing a session, you've just tracked a bunch of those rhythm guitar parts. Or let's say there's a beginning of a tune that just needs kind of an interesting texture to it. One thing I like to do that's pretty common in R&B is to use a long delay and a volume pedal and use that for a variety of effects on the guitar that sort of help little sections move along. In this case, I'm going to use an awfully long delay. I think it's about 350 milliseconds, and it's placed on a lot of regeneration. So here's where it's at. So by itself, I wouldn't dare playing rhythm guitar parts with all that delay and so forth. But for certain parts of songs, it comes in real well. If I use the volume pedal, I can get it to sound sort of like a seagull in certain areas. Even a higher seagull, or more like a sea mammal, or sort of interesting spatial parts. Okay, another thing that I do with a little less delay is something that I call rain stick, and that sounds like this. Okay, same kind of introduction sort of thing. Just before the band kicks in, it's kind of a nice effect to use. Okay, can you also use one of my fingers like this and use that sort of an effect, okay? Another effect that I like to use sometimes comes on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's a sort of a tug at the strings, and you can play any 2 notes down here. And that pulls it up and brings the band, and I'll play an example of that right now. Okay, so what we're going to do is put all these things together, or at least a lot of them together, and play a song from the beginning to the end. And we're going to use our little funnies or little effects, guitar effects. We're going to also use something new that we'll get into right now, and that's a bridge. And one of the things you have to have at your disposal as an R&B rhythm player generally is some kind of overdrive. And for big power chords and so forth, I like to have a real saturated sounding rock and roll overdrive. And I'll just kick it in every once in a while in certain chords and so forth. Definitely doesn't go all night. It's something that you use in between a lot of the clean stuff. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So let's look at the bridge here. Now, one thing, we put in the overdrive, that I do when I go to introduce a new section would be to do a fall off. Something like that. Okay, and this bridge goes like this. E, and we do a chromatic walk up to G. Power chords from G to A to G, A to B. We change our string sets to the A string. Now this is a different kind of power chord. This is something with a 3 in the bass. So we're going from B up to C sharp, section A with the C sharp in the bass, and A on top. And that goes to D. And this goes up to E. Okay? And then we can take the pick, back of the pick, and run it. I play the ensemble riff, which I'll just play along with the band, but it's not necessary because it's not really a rhythm guitar part. Okay? and then we switch back to the clean sound. So the trick is to get a nice balance between the clean sound and the overdrive sound. And that we can achieve by just getting the levels right between the effect and the clean set. So let's play this tune and put all these effects together. Well, I certainly hope you've enjoyed watching today's program. There are a lot of tools for your toolbox, a lot of R&B techniques that you can use on a lot of different contexts, and some play-along examples that you can work with. So I wish you luck, and I'll see you the next time.